everyone, and welcome back. I'm Mr. Stoltz. Yes, so today's sneaker review is going to be the sequel, the next version of the R1. When I first saw this one online and saw that, okay, this one is coming up, including myself, and no one else could ever imagine that this shoe was going to be such an important shoe of 2016. And now when 2016 is coming to an end, I have to say that the NMD R1, not just this OG model, but everyone, is probably on the #1 spot of all the sneakers released throughout the year. All models, all versions, and so on and so on. This is just an amazing, amazing shoe. I love it. So let's start looking at R2. So here we got it. We do not longer have the blue box that this one came with, the R1. It's just a traditional black box with the 3 stripes on the top, and on the front it reads NMD R1 Primeknit. I got it in size 11, and we can see a picture of the shoe itself. So let's take it out. So here we got the sequel to NMD R1, the NMD R2. Yes, so what are my first thoughts and opinions on the R2, the sequel to the ever and super popular R1? First of all, it looks kind of similar to this one. The only difference is, not the only difference, but the major difference that made this one so popular is the plugs. We no longer have the plugs on this side, a little bit here, but I'll show you that later. So, but overall, this is more or less the same type of shoe. It feels the same. It has the same kind of style, same kind of fit. So everything is about the same. And I actually like this one. It is a great shoe. So when this model was first released, we only saw it in this black colorway. So this is the OG colorway. And that's the first difference between this one and that one. So for this video, I'll do a comparison. And with this one, we saw one for women and one for men. And this is the men's model, the version. This one has this beige and black colorway. And with the women's model, it's mainly overall black. So that's the first difference. So let's start looking at the front toe box. The toe box is just as soft compared to the original. The original is all black, while the new one has a base of beige and then with black lines. So if we move up from the toe box, looking at the R1, we have this black line right here. The R2 does not. So that's another little difference between these shoes. So if we keep moving up, we have these beige laces. R1 has the black laces. It's exactly the same. But one little difference between these two is the lace connectors. On the R1, we have it on both sides, made out of plastic, and on the R2, we do not. So what do you guys think about the look? And I don't want to hear like hypebeast saying that, oh, this is the OG, so this one is gonna automatically be better whatever Adidas is releasing in an NMD. I just want to hear like style-wise, which one do you think looks the best? Looking at the side of the shoe, the first thing I gotta say about this shoe and all of the NMDs is that I love the silhouette. Even though I'm not a big fan of the mesh material, I still love the silhouette and the look of the shoe. And this is just a gorgeous look. The black, the red, the blue, amazing. So now on the R2, there is a few differences. So let's start at the top. The first thing we have that is no difference at all is that we have the sock-like upper. And this is such a great shoe to walk around with. I love my Ultra Boost Uncaged, but I think that this one feels even better. Like I mentioned in earlier videos, is that this is more of a lifestyle and the Ultra Boost Uncaged is more a running shoe. So that one's gonna grip a lot harder around your ankle, whereas this one is a lot looser. You just pull it in, like plug it in and then go. I love this shoe. The entire upper of this shoe has this beige base and with these black lines all the way around it. And I've heard a lot of comments from people saying it does not look good. For me, I think this shoe looks excellent, but if I should compare it to this black version, This is a lot easier and a lot better to dress with everything in your wardrobe because black goes with almost everything. But a beige shoe it's not harder, but you just have to think a little bit more what you're gonna wear to this with this shoe compared to this one, because this one will work with a lot more things. And if we move down from the upper part down, we have the 3 stripes. It's exactly the same on this one black, on this one beige. So if we move down to the midsole, this is probably the most talked about thing on the R2 and probably the reason why this one is still sitting on shelves. Looking at the R1, these plugs. This is probably what made this shoe one of the things so famous and such a great shoe and looked after shoe. Like everyone wants the R1, everyone loves the plugs. For me, it took a little bit to get used to it because at the first few milliseconds when I saw this shoe, I was like, but the plug sticks out. Is that gonna look good? But when I got in my hand, yes, it actually looks good. It looks like a retro shoe. It looks super, super cool. I love it. But looking at the R2, where is it? It's gone. They actually removed the plugs from the outer side of the shoe. The inner side, wait a little bit. The outer side of the shoe does not have it. It's all white. This one has the red and the blue plugs. This one does not. So instead of just having it all plain a white boost, they made these lines at the back part where you normally have the red plug and made these lines. At the front, we do not have anything at all. So looking here, we have no plugs. Turn it around, we have 1 plug. And that is exactly the same like the R1. The R1 has this red plug with straight lines and it looks really good. Looking at this one, we have 1 plug, but there's a few differences. This one has a narrower shape, like it's a lot longer compared to this one. It's a little bit wider. So looking at both of them, you can see that this one is a lot wider and then the lines is not straight. It's actually tilted a little bit and it has a different shape to it. What do you think about this one? I'm actually glad that they have some of the plugs remaining because if they removed everything, people would probably never buy it. But if you have a little bit of the plug still remaining on the shoe, it's still a good look. But what do you think? This one or that one? Looking at the back of the shoe, we have this beige leather. And on the R1, we have this all black with the Adidas and trefoil logo in the middle. On this one, you can actually thread it through like this, like on similar R1 models, and we do not have the Adidas or trefoil logo in the middle. One thing that I like about the back is that the stripes on the front goes like this, and on the sides it goes towards the back, and then when you look at the back, it actually goes up a little bit. So it feels like it's following the motion of the shoe. So it goes pretty straightforward here, and on the side it keeps going and then fluent motion up to the top. So I think that's a pretty nice design move from Adidas. So looking at the color of the brand with the 3 stripes in a few different languages, on the R1 it's black and white, on the R2 it's beige and silver. One little thing that I think looks better on the R1 compared to R2 is on the back. So if you look at it, we have plugs on both sides. It creates a more uniform body, more composition wise, it looks better because you have the same thing, boost in the middle, red at the sides. On this one, composition wise, for my eye, photographers and everyone else just walking by looking at it, you have this big white, continues on this side, but you have a plug on this side. So for me, it does not look as good because you have a plug on one side and then nothing on the other side. What do you think? So if you're looking at the inside of the shoe, we have the same thing like on all other NMDs. We have boost at the bottom and we can see the visible boost technology. So let's start looking at the outsole. It is almost identical to the R1. The middle part of the shoe, we have the little squarish shape in the middle. It says exactly the same, Adidas trefoil logo, the brand with the 3 stripes, no differences at all. Around it, we can see the visible boost technology. However, the two differences. Front and the back is not the same. On the OG model at the front, we have these little small square-like patterns, and on the back it has almost like running a track, goes around. But on the new one, the front has these straight lines and the back the straight lines as well. So that is the differences on the outsole. Let us take a close-up look of the NMD R2. It's time for an on-feet look of the NMD R2. So that was the NMD R2. There is a few differences. I personally love this one more than this one, but that's probably just because the plugs as well. I think it looks better, but I'm not hating on it. I still think it looks like a great shoe. And I do understand that Adidas has to make some differences. That's the same with Kanye and the 350s. He went from a different design. There was no stripe, now there's a stripe, and so on and so on. So Adidas had to make something different. If they just put the same plugs here as well, it would be the NMD R1. So yes, they have to make some differences in order for it to be a new shoe. Overall, I love this shoe. It's a great color, a great look. It's a little bit harder to dress compared to this one. Black always goes with everything. This one, you have to mix and match a little bit more than R1. But overall, I think it's a great shoe. It feels good. I did not feel any differences on feet with this one and that one. It is a little bit softer. Maybe it's a little bit more comfortable, but maybe I'm just playing a trick on myself. I don't know if this one is more comfortable than this one. I don't think it matters. I love this shoe. Other than that, I would go with your true to size. Feels exactly the same. Looks excellent. And I believe that was it. I want to say once again, thanks everyone for watching my videos. If you're new to my channel, leave a big thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's right here, I believe. Is it? Yes. All right, so thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next week.